What is going on, my broskiis? My name is Toadskii, back again, here to bring you guys yet another One Piece Treasure Cruise video, and today we're doing a showcase video. I know that since the Sugo Fest video went live on the channel, I've had a bunch of comments saying we're waiting for the Capone showcase video, and that is what we're doing today. We're going to be showcasing the Big Daddy himself, Capone Gang Bedge. So here we go. Let's go ahead and break down the character, my suggestions for sockets and cotton candies, and just overall my opinions on the character. So here we go. Capone Gang Bedge Legend is an int shooter-driven character. His max stats with limit break are fantastic. 4800 HP. He has 1771 attack and 253 recovery. You can see here I have opted for HP and attack candies. There is an option to put recovery on him as well. As a captain, he does recover if you have 6 shooters on your team. I personally went with the HP candies because I felt like you get more out of the HP candies with Capone compared to the recovery candies. Just doing some calculations, I just think that the HP candies are a little bit more worth it, but I don't really think it matters that much whether you put HP or recovery. As long as you have 100 attack, you're good to go. Talking about his captain ability, it's a pretty great captain effect, honestly. Shooter characters 3.75 times unconditional attack boost and 1.35 times health. And then makes yellow and purple orbs matching for shooter characters as well. Like, just that on its own is just a fantastic captain ability and rivals some of the best in the game in my personal opinion. And then also he has an added effect that if you have 6 shooters on your team, you will heal 0.5 times his recovery for every perfect that you hit at the end of the turn. So half of his recovery stat is recovered back for every single perfect, and that works very, very well in tandem with his special ability. Capone's special ability maxes out at 16 turns, unfortunately not getting any cooldown reduction with his limit break, which would have been amazing, honestly. But his special will go ahead and give your shooter characters a 2 times attack boost, which is great. You guys already know, if you guys have been long-time viewers of the channel, you guys would know how I feel about characters as your captain that also provide a boost to your team. I think that it's so goddamn useful, and it really plays a big role in the shooter teams. Having this guy set as your captain, as well as being your type booster, it's very, 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 very useful. But then he has the added effect of if you have 6 crew members when you activate the special, you will go ahead and cut your health by 85%, and then that 85% of your health that you lost will become Big Father's HP pool. And while Big Father is up, you take no damage, and this does include from burn damage, which is pretty significant. I believe poison you are still affected by, but if you have burn on your crew and you activate Big Father, the Big Father actually tanks all the burn damage, which I know a lot of people don't actually know about, so it's good to know. But yes, this character is just freaking awesome, yo, and you don't take any damage from regular attacks or death hits or anything when you have Big Father active, and you guys will see in this video how Big Father actually protects your team so well. And then yes, you do see that your health is cut by 85%, but remember, with his captain ability, he heals for every perfect, and the rare recruit Chiffon from his batch is a ridiculously useful character, and I actually think I use her in nearly every single team you guys are going to be seeing in this video today. She's just ridiculously useful for the Capone teams. But there we go. Those are the abilities of Capone. He has 2 different crewmate abilities if you do opt to run him as a sub, giving shooters 50 base stats, and also sign in a beneficial for shooter characters as well. So that's really, really nice. If you want to opt for, let's say, Sabo, Dex Sabo captain, or you want to run Zephyr captain, it's great because as a sub, he just provides more matching orbs, which is pretty cool. And for his potential abilities, he has the critical hit, which is 8% extra damage. He has slot bind resistance by 10 turns, and also barrier penetration, completely ignoring barriers at level 5, which is actually really, really nice. And then as for sockets, the first 4 that you see here, I would highly recommend, you know, Chain Despair, cooldown, and heal. The last one really is up to you. I think damage reduction is more useful for this character, as you are, you know, not going to be at full health all the time, and when you do reduce your health to activate Big Father, and for some reason, if your Big Father does dissipate, it's nice to tank all that damage. And also another one that you could potentially use as well is recovery orb. So whenever you get a recovery orb, you just heal back more HP, which is also quite useful. But I decided to opt for damage reduction. But there we go. That's the full breakdown of the legend himself. And now let's get into the showcase where we actually use him in various pieces of content. Alright, so getting into the showcase video, we're going to have 2 different raid bosses, 2 different coliseums, and also against a training forest. So the first clip you guys are seeing here is against Clash Lucci. I also have Clash Fujitora here as well, mainly just to showcase the Big Father ability. And then for the coliseum ones, we have Coliseum Kid, which was actually really interesting. Like, the team worked like exactly perfectly correctly how I thought it was going to be working, so that was really fun. And also against Coliseum Pedro, once again, to showcase how Big Father can be so useful in your teams. And then we are finishing off the video with the Blackbeard Forest, if you guys want to go ahead and see that as well. But here we are on the Raid Rob Lucci fight. You can see that with this team here, it is legend heavy, I'm not going to deny that. Cruzan is definitely not required here. The Dex Sabo, though, he's a very, very key unit for shooter teams, because he himself just adds so much to the team. So not only does he have an amazing special ability that provides a 2.25 times orb boost, not only to shooters, but to fighter and free spirit as well, he also provides a 3 times chain lock, and to have that much power in one special ability is just immensely useful to have. And also the fact that he is a legend, he has very good statistics, he has 5 socket spots, all just works in one really fantastic package. However, one thing that a lot of people forget to notice about Sabo is he has a god tier sailor ability, where he will make recovery and tandem beneficial to shooters, fighters, and free spirit characters as a sub, dude. Like, it's so good, right? Because you can have your Capone as a captain, making Sign Int beneficial, and then when you have Sabo as a sub, Recovery and Tandem are beneficial, which is just, it works so well. So 4 of the 7 natural orbs are beneficial all the time on your team, which is freaking sick. And then moving on here, we're on Raid Fuji right now. You know, that sailor ability that we just mentioned with Sabo, Legend Zephyr has the exact same special ability, or sailor ability that is, where he makes Recovery and Tandem beneficial for shooter characters. So, you know, you can switch and swap between the 2 characters. Personally, through playing with Capone for a little bit in lots of different content, I definitely feel like Sabo is a much more superior sub compared to Zephyr. I know a lot of people, you know, say that Zephyr is a really good unit. I do think he's really good for a lot of content, but there are some specific pieces of content that counter orb manipulation, and I did come into that when I went up against Coliseum Kid. You know, you cannot use orb manipulation on the final stage, and that's where V2 Boa is so useful, because she has the beneficial orb enable. So you guys are seeing here, I use the Big Father ability before moving into the final stage of Fujitora, and we know that with Fujitora's ability, his preemptive attack, he blows away your captain for I think 3 turns, but when you have Big Father active, which can be active for many turns, you can just avoid any effects that blow away your crew members, and just that ability in and of itself is just really useful to have. And you know, there are other characters that provide that, you know, with their sailor abilities, and even the same with Legend Frankie with his General Frankie captain action. However, with Capone's ability, you can carry that through multiple turns, which is why it's so good. So far in this video, we've talked about how good this Big Father effect is with Legend Capone, and it is fantastic. However, it can be countered by the enemy. If there is an ability where the enemy will, you know, cancel all of your beneficial effects, that actually will remove the ability of Big Father. But then again, if you have double Capone, you can just activate your secondary one, and you can get it back again, which is really good. So now we're at the clip against Coliseum Kid. This was a very, very big pain to try and build a team for this, because Coliseum Kid has a lot of really annoying effects. You can't use orb manipulation on the final stage. He has attack down. Stage 4 of the fight is very, very annoying, but luckily, one of the good things about Capone is his tankiness. Probably one of the most tankiest legends in the entire game, because he provides a 1.35 health boost, and depending on your ship that you're using, you can boost that even further. And then the fact that he has a healing mechanic inbuilt with his captain effect, and utilizing the rare recruit Chiffon. Now, I use her in a lot of teams in this video because she's just so goddamn good. She provides so much healing at the end of the turn. I believe when I use her special ability, and if I hit, I think it's 6 perfects, I heal up to like nearly 10,000 HP I recover per turn for the next 3 turns, you know, with her special ability active. And just the fact that you can get that means that, you know, your health is already, you know, built all the way back up, and then you already have your Big Father active because you've used your Capone special ability. So that means you've got your Big Father effect active, and you're nearly at full health again, so that when your Big Father does dissipate, you can activate another one to start tanking more damage. And it's really, really cool. I love the way that they've built this character. Now, you guys are going to be seeing towards the end of this video when we're up against the Blackbeard Forest, there's really cool mechanics that you can do with CAPONE because of the fact that she has an inbuilt special effect where if you use her special ability and you have a damage reduction active on your team, or I think a damage threshold on your team when you activate the special ability as well, she fully recovers your health. So literally you can use the Coated Sunny to use that special ability of the Coated Sunny, give yourself damage reduction, and then use her special ability to fully heal your team. And that is so powerful to have in Training Forest, where you do really need to make sure your health is as high as possible. You know, obviously depending on your team, but for the most part, you want to make sure that that your health is reasonably high. Here we are on the last of the Colosseum clips. This is going to be against Colosseum Pedro. Colosseum Pedro was actually pretty easy with this team. You know, stage 3 and stage 4, pretty straightforward, just doing regular attacks. Obviously, the final stage against Pedro is going to be quite a struggle because of his ability that removes your beneficial effects and then gives you type orbs as negative, because it means you can't use beneficial orb enable and move into that final room because he just removes it on your team. So this is where 20th Anniversary Usopp comes in super duper clutch, being a shooter character that changes badly matching orbs into matching, which gets around the negative orb enable from Colosseum Pedro. Now, yes, this team, again, is very legend heavy, but you could definitely replace these characters that I have on the team. This team just has a lot of damage output innately, so you don't really need to worry about that too much, as long as you have, you know, the right orb booster and a way to get matching orbs. You know, Zephyr and Sabo could definitely be replaced against Colosseum Pedro with this team specifically. Another character that works really well with Legend Capone that I haven't really used in this video that's really good is Treasure Map Boa Hancock. She is almost made for Legend Capone in a way. You know, when Capone has either an int or a psi orb, you know, you get those massive effects, as well as the fact that this boa recovers 10,000 HP and she does have double special activation. So when you use all your boosts and stuff, you can get 20,000 recovery, which is great after you use your Big Father effect and you lose all your health. She's just made for Legend Capone and works very well. I just found it a little bit of a struggle to try and find a certain team to put her in against these specific pieces of content, but don't get me wrong, Treasure Map Boa Hancock is an amazing character for Capone. Another character that is also great for Capone is Legend Magellan, who, you know, is really great. We all know how good he is. He allows you to, you know, kill the enemies essentially just by sitting there and letting the Toxic do the heavy lifting. And he also gives you end of turn damage, which again is very good for Capone. After you use your Big Father effect, you have less health. Magellan can heal that back up, and you let your Big Father tank all the damage while you let the poison do the heavy lifting against the enemy. So that works very well. I mentioned it briefly before, but the shooter class, what it actually is lacking is a good character that provides beneficial orb enabling, because they really don't have that at this current point in time. The best beneficial orb enablers for shooters are version 2 Boa. You also have the rare recruit Gotti from the Capone batch, who we'll talk about him in a little bit. And another one who is half decent as well is the limited rare recruit Usopp, who is very hard to get, of course. But talking about Gotti, he is good in what he provides. He allows you to essentially get a full board of matching orbs for 3 turns. But you need to make sure that the enemy actually has a barrier when you activate his special ability, which can be quite troublesome to do so. And I really wanted to use Gotti against the Colosseum Kid, but you cannot use a orb manipulation on that stage, and Gotti does change all of your orbs into type orbs, so you can't use him on that specific stage either. So, you know, he's a good character, but, you know, it is very situational, and I just found myself using V2 Boa because she was just the best character for the best situations I found, as well as allowing you to delay the enemy as well with V2 Boa. It is unfortunate that when, you know, V2 Boa gets her Super Evolution on Japan, she does shy away from being a shooter-centric character, so it might be worth it to try and save an unevolved and then also keep one for the eventual 6+ of V2 Boa, just so if you do need a beneficial orb enable for shooters, you can go ahead and use the V2 Boa to do so. And here we are, guys, at the final clip, which is going to be in the Blackbeard Forest. Now, I screw up immensely in this fight. So, number one, I never used Zephyr's special at all during this training forest. So, I literally could have replaced him with any other character. Looking back at this clip, I really could have used him on stage 18 or stage 19 to make it a little bit easier. Really, I really should have, but I don't know why I didn't. And eventually, I just got to the last stage and realized that, oh, wait, you can't even use Zephyr on the last stage. So, yeah, that was the one of the big mess-ups mess-ups here, but I would say an even bigger mess-up is realizing that Luffy and Ace, when you use their special ability to combine into Luffy and Ace, they are no longer classed as a shooter character, so they do not get the attack boost from Capone. Luckily, I only used their special on the last stage, and even if I didn't kill Blackbeard when I did, I had the Big Father effect up anyway, so I would have been safe anyway, no matter what. But it's just something to note, you know, if you are using Luffy and Ace on the team for any reason, you got to be careful to not use their special because they are not classified as shooter characters. Either way, I actually did clear this on the first try, which was pretty surprising. I was thinking maybe it would take me a couple of tries to get my footing and with how the team would work. But after looking at what the training forest does and planning the team, it just worked. Especially this stage. This stage actually surprised me. I was not expecting to do this much damage on this specific stage here. I was not expecting to kill Sengoku in one turn, let alone the two characters behind him. A lot of times when I've done showcase videos with the Blackbeard Forest, this stage takes a pretty long time to get through because both Sengoku and Garp at the front, they have a lot of HP. So I was actually kind of shocked to see that it was able to clear out Sengoku on turn 1. But overall, that's it, guys. That's pretty much my full breakdown of Legend Capone. I think currently on Global, he is definitely easily a tier 1 legend. I do think that the shooter class is very good, but they do lack a couple of key support characters in my opinion. They have some decent utility, but I feel like, you know, when I'm building teams with them, I feel like there aren't that many characters that provide support in big enough ways. Like you have Chiffon, who is probably arguably the best shooter support character that we have, with her abilities giving you so many utility based effects, removing like paralysis, she removes attack down, she heals, like she does a lot of different things, and we don't have enough of those type of characters, you know, characters that provide utility and a boost, or characters that provide, you know, matching orbs and a boost, or matching orbs and other effects, and I feel like we need more of that. So currently I do think they're one of the better classes on Global, but I do not think they're the best class. Mainly it's Capone that carries the whole class with his amazing captain effect and his special ability allowing you to activate Big Father. Those are the things that are carrying the shooter class right now on One Piece Treasure Cruise Global. Hopefully you guys enjoyed my breakdown of him, and if you guys did enjoy it, make sure to leave a like, and if you want to stay up to date with all the content I post, including more One Piece Treasure Cruise content, make sure to hit the subscribe button down below. But other than that, guys, I will see you guys within the next video.